So I hope that you have been enjoying everything that Leigh Folk Festival has to bring you in this Front Room Folk Festival. I've slightly changed locations myself. I've just done a 180 and put a picture behind me. But over the last few weeks, as we've been looking around the internet for amazing examples of how musicians are banding together during this pandemic, we stumbled across a great video from the National Youth Folk Ensemble. We reached out and we thought, why not bring them into this Front Room Folk Festival as an ensemble that we've also never had at Leigh Folk Festival. It's a project of the English Folk Dance and Song Society, or the EFDSS, as it's known. And joining me to talk a little bit more about the project is Sam Partridge, the artistic director. Afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Mike. How are you doing?
Good, thank you very much. We've got John Hinton, 17 from Cambridge. Hello.
Hello.
And we've also got Gronya Lacey-Roberts, who joins us from Leeds. Hello.
Hello.
What the wonders of modern technology. So before I bring in Gronya and John, who can talk a little bit about actually being in the National Youth Folk Ensemble, Sam, as an artistic director, it seems like a natural starting point. Just share a little bit with us about what the ensemble is and what's it all about.
Awesome. Yeah. So I guess to give you a bit more context, like you mentioned at the start, the National Youth Folk Ensemble, it was a programme that was set up by the English Folk Dance and Song Society, and it's funded by Arts Council England. And what we do is we kind of bring together young musicians from all over England, aged 14 to 18, and we bring them together in celebrating and learning traditional music, folk music from these islands, really. We go away on residential courses where we learn repertoire, we talk about technique and style, and we explore the genre. The music that is performed or recorded is totally made by the young people themselves.
Wow.
We work in the round, we sit together as a group. So the arrangement process is not by any means tutor-led, it's led by the young musicians, by the group. It's their music, which is really important. Well, I should say this is the fourth ever cohort of the National Youth Folk Ensemble. And we start out the year together down at Halsey Manor. We started there every year, which is in Somerset, and we meet up as a group and we start gelling as a band. We explore some repertoire and we kind of hang out and we play some games, we do some dancing, and have a generally good time and start making this music. And then there's an away time and we meet back up in February, and it can be anywhere in England. We kind of move where the courses happen. But we meet back up in February and work on some more repertoire. And that normally ends with a little concert. So this year we did a concert at the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall in the music room.
That's amazing. Incredible. I bet that was, yeah. It
was really cool, supporting Rob Harbour and Emily Portman and Emma Reid. So it was a lovely, lovely experience. And then normally we would go away again in April. So we were expecting to be down in Rickmansworth this April. But unfortunately, because of as circumstance dictated, we took our residential online this year, which was really, really interesting and exciting. And it was, we had to make the decision to do it quickly, but I feel like what we did was really successful and we managed to make an awesome thing. Where April's residential course would normally end in a concert. So we had gigs lined up at Cecil Sharp House and at the South Bank Centre. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to do that, but as you'll all see and hear in a bit, we have got content that we can share with you over digital platforms and online, so we can still have our music, and the National Youth Folk Ensemble's music can still be broadcasted and heard, which is exciting.
That's incredibly exciting, and actually, I think It's so important to bring younger musicians into the world of folk, which, you know, typically, I think historically has had an image of something that's been for older people and has older audiences that it attracts. And certainly at Leigh Folk Festival, that's something that we over the last 10 years have been embracing, bringing younger musicians to audiences, and you know, being able to showcase you know, not just traditional folk, but, you know, roots music and you know, everything that celebrates, I guess, the music of the people. I think this is a great chance to bring in John and Gronya. Gronya, maybe if you could go first, tell us a little about what it's like to be part of, you know, an ensemble that is, you know, celebrating and bringing all of this together.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's really cool that we get to join together in like a really big group of young musicians who all play folk music, which is quite unusual, especially with English folk music. And everyone loves it. And then we get to get these like really old tunes, sometimes hundreds of years old, from manuscripts and like bring them to life. And like, I think we give them a whole new meaning. I think it's really fun.
And what about you, John?
It's amazing to have such an amazingly large group of people that sort of have the same intentions as you, want to come together and make this music that's been around for hundreds of years. And some pieces of music maybe haven't been discovered for hundreds of years. We've done some manuscript work, especially at Halsey Manor, where we looked through manuscript books and found tunes that we tried to bring and make our own, which was amazing because some of these tunes may not have been played since they were written or since they were heard from whoever originally composed them. And to have a group make such an amazing sound is really, really fun and enjoyable to be a part of.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Actually, one thing that I've rediscovered a passion for in putting together Front Room Folk Festival is sea shanties. And we are blessed in Southend that you know, we had the late great Jack Forbes, who wrote the sea shanty Rolling Down the River, you know, which has become this, you know, global shanty now. And we do have a performance of it. We've managed to bring sea shanty crews together still during this time. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to perhaps take a look at one of the products of your virtual residential that you held in April. Gronya, John, would one of you love to introduce this for us?
Yeah, this one is called Ham House, and it's from the Playford manuscript. So we learned it in Waddow Hall, and we arranged it together. We came up with some like cool ideas and made a bit of a breakdown. But I think what really brought it to life is that we learned how to dance to it. So while we were playing, we also learned the 3/8 borough to it, and it really like brought it to life while we were playing it.
Wow. Well, I certainly think that energy is captured in this virtual recording. So let's take a look. That was absolutely brilliant. I can imagine dancing to that. I was trying to resist the urge myself sitting here. Uh, that must have also been a real logistical challenge to put together for you, Sam.
Well, that video, I should have said at the start, actually, that video didn't come from me or from the English Folk Dance and Song Society or the residential. That came out of one member of the ensemble, the five-string fiddle player there, Rowan. She spearheaded that idea. She thought maybe we could all film ourselves playing along to this recording. So that all came out of the ensemble. That was all their idea, and she led it. And that was sort of nothing to do with me. I just said, that sounds great. Please, yeah, crack on. And they made such a wonderful thing. So, yeah, I'm really proud of them for doing that. And I think it's so lovely to see it.
And John, how was that for you to take part in and kind of put that together? And do you want to do more?
Oh, absolutely. It was amazing because obviously when we realised we wouldn't be able to meet up on our April residential, because so much of our residential is focused on playing together and playing as an ensemble, I was quite kind of almost a bit worried about how we would mimic that. And this idea was brilliant because although we were playing separately from all corners of the country, when it was created and when it was finished, it really did feel like we were together. It was a real group sound. It was definitely our sound, and it was brilliant. I'd love to do some more songs. Brilliant.
There you go. I might have dropped you in at Sam and created you a load more work, but I certainly think that it would be brilliant to see more of that, and especially obviously as you know. And I guess one of the reasons why we're even doing Front Room Folk Festival is because there is no true replacement for live music, for live gigs, and musicians around the country that depend on that income. And then here locally in Southend, people are really being impacted by this pandemic financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. And so we really wanted to raise money to be able to support organisations like Help Musicians. And I guess that's super important for us. Sam, I mean, you've been part of live music for a very, very long time. There isn't really that natural replacement, is there?
No, there's not. There's definitely no way that you can replace like the way that music is taught or enjoyed and performed, the way that we engage in music. There's no replacement for that live, being there together, working together, playing together, enjoying music together. But I think what the current times are showing us is that where there's a will, there is definitely a way for us to still enjoy making music together and to still enjoy sharing music with other people. So platforms like this and like the video you've just seen, I think that is, it's the best of a bad situation. And I think what our young musicians did there as well, they did it so well. It was admirable to see people engaging and sharing music that way.
Absolutely. And Goran, do you feel that, having been in lockdown, do you feel like you've been more creative? Have you been playing more, or I appreciate that it's not like that for everybody, but
yeah, I think it's been a real opportunity to kind of explore a lot more music because you don't have to go to school or work every day anymore. So it's just you spend all your time at home and you can play music and you can do like what we did there and try and team up with other people and make music as a group. And like, although it's hard not being able to play with your friends or as an ensemble, it's like a really nice opportunity.
Absolutely. So you mentioned earlier that you did manage to get a live concert in at the end of, was it the end of last year or the beginning of this year?
It was
February. So that's brilliant that managed to come together. Tell us a little bit more about that concert.
It was really, really great because we'd spent the week in Waddow Hall, which is near Liverpool. And then we had this concert at the end of an amazing week at the Liverpool Philharmonic Music Room. We were supporting Rob Harbour and Emily Portman and Emma Reed. And it was the first chance for our cohort to come together and perform something, show what we'd been making over the 2 residentials, and it was absolutely brilliant. The reception was amazing, the audience was amazing, and we think it was one of our best. It was our best performance, it was our only performance, but one that we played really well, and it was so much fun. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. Well, I think this is a perfect segue into, we've moved from virtual concert to live concert, and that concert was actually recorded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Rob Harbron, who was playing in the concert as well after the National Folk Ensemble, was also recording it for us, and we're very grateful for him for doing that. So you can hear a bit of that.
So John, let's hear a live piece from that concert. Will you introduce it for us?
Yes, this piece is called Bullock's Hornpipe. It was from the Northern Lass manuscript found by Jamie Knowles. And we really like this arrangement of it. We've been experimenting with different ways to arrange our pieces, different techniques we can use, and this is a really creative arrangement. We really like it, and it's our live performance from Liverpool.
So that was the National Youth Folk Ensemble, recorded live at the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall back in February this year. Recorded and mixed by Rob Harbron and the artistic director Sam Partridge, who is still with us. The energy in that, it's incredible.
It's an amazing piece of music that they made. They took that old traditional tune and they turned it into their own music. And it was such an electric... That was the start of the gig as well. That was the opener.
What a way to kick off.
Right? And it was, you could see the audience. It was packed out. There was loads of people there and they were so engaged. Just everyone kind of went, wow, just from those first few notes. So yeah, that gig was awesome. Really, really pleased with how it went.
So I think this is a good opportunity to, we've looked back at a couple of things that the National Youth Folk Ensemble has done. Let's look a little bit to the future, brighter things ahead, hopefully. What are the plans for the ensemble?
Cool. Well, we've taken, obviously we had to take some of our activities online with our last presidential, and we'll be continuing to do that. So the next thing we've got coming up is our sampler days in May. So that's when normally myself and some other tutors would tour the length and breadth of the country of England, and bringing free sampler days of how we work in the National Youth Folk Ensemble, and have a taster of what it's like to young musicians across all the country, but obviously we're having to do that online now, so they're still going ahead, which is great, but we'll be delivering our sampler days online in the May half-term holidays, so they're for 12 to 18-year-olds, and we were actually going to be doing one in the southeast. We were going to be doing Essex on the 29th, but sadly that one's not going ahead. But if you'd like to find out a little bit more or book your free place on one of these digital sampler days we're delivering, please do visit the efds.org/youthfolk, because that's like the recruiting, really. That's part of the recruiting process, where young people learn about the music, they learn about what we do and have a go, and if they enjoy it they can audition and become part of the next cohort. So it's great. It'd be great to see lots of people doing that digitally. And then I guess we still don't know how the summer's going to play out yet, to be honest, but we've got scheduled appearances at Folk East and at Purbeck Valley Folk Festival. So we don't exactly know how that's going to play out. We're just watching this space, really. If we find ourselves delivering another e-course, we've already managed to make one work. We learn from it, and we're totally confident and capable to take that forward again. But if we do end up meeting up in person, that would also be great.
Well, I think that's a brilliant place to close. But before we go, firstly, I know that while Leigh Folk Festival may be cancelled this year as the largest free folk festival in the UK, we'd love to extend an invitation for 2021 to see the National Youth Folk Ensemble come and join us for a special concert, maybe in the beautiful surrounds of St Clement's Church. Before we go, I always love that folk is open to so much interpretation. I love that people see folk through so many different lenses, depending on where you are in the world, depending on your musical exposure growing up. Really quickly, in a short snippet, let's go round and just, what does folk mean to you? John, I'm going to put you on the spot first.
I think for me, folk is definitely sharing tradition, history, and having a good time playing music with friends.
And Groen?
I think that for me, folk is kind of like a way to have a connection with traditional music while also kind of bringing it to life and just making it your own. And it's just a really cool thing to do.
And finally, Sam as artistic director.
Wow, what is folk music? I guess it's folk music is a kind of ultimate artistic expression delivered in the most beautiful and simplistic way.
Well, thank you all. That's some brilliant, succinct answers. Look, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us permission to use your recordings and your videos. I really wish the Ensemble all the best for the year ahead and your sampler days. Please do go and find out more about them on the EFDSS website, which we'll put in the comments or we'll put somewhere. You probably click. Please do donate as well to this live broadcast at frontroomfolk.com. All the money is going to help musicians to support them with their COVID-19 Musicians Fund, offering financial support, the Southend Emergency Fund, and the Leigh Folk Arts Association. You can also text donate as well. Up in the corner, they'll be flashing round throughout the day details on how you can do that. So thanks for joining us, and more great live music coming up.